A very good morning to one and all. I am Sudarshan, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering, Savita Engineering College, and I am going to handle the subject Estimation, Costing and Valuation Engineering CE8701 for final year civil engineering students. This subject mainly deals with estimation of quantities of items that are required for construction of any particular structure and also the cost estimate for that structure. To move on, overall, we'll be seeing about the units, textbooks, course outcomes, definition of estimate, purpose, types, and estimate of structures. Let us see what are the various units. Unit 1 deals with quantity surveying. Unit 2 deals with rate analysis and costing. Unit 3 deals with specification, reports, and tenders. Unit 4 contracts, and Unit 5 with valuation. The course outcomes are estimation of quantities of buildings, rate analysis of all building works, canals, roads, and cost estimates of these things. Understand the types of specifications, principles of report preparation, tender notice types. Gain knowledge on the type of contracts. Evaluate valuation of building and land. The textbook is BN Data, that is generally preferred textbook, Estimation and Costing in Civil Engineering by UPS Publishers and Distributors. Next is BS Patil, Civil Engineering Constructs and Estimate by University Press, and DN Banerjee, Principles and Practice of Valuation by Eastern Law House. So let us go into today's topic, estimation. An estimate is a calculation of quantities of various items of work and the expenses likely to be incurred thereon. The total of these probable expenses should be incurred in the work is known as the estimated cost of that work. So whatever the expenses that is going to happen, that will be the estimated cost of that work. So what is estimate? Estimate is the cost of the construction job in the probable cost of that job as computed from the plans and specifications. So majorly drawings and specifications will be the necessary data for estimation. For a good estimate, the actual cost of the proposed work after completion would not be differ more than 5 to 10% from the approximate cost estimate. Purpose: construction estimation is a process of forecasting a project cost for a particular work. However, the two project costs are only known once after the completion of the project. What are all the various units that we should know before going into the estimation that we'll be seeing here? The units of measurement are majorly classified based upon their nature, shape, size, and for making payments to the contractor. Single units like doors, windows are expressed in numbers. Works consist of linear measurements like length of cornice, fencing, handrail are expressed in running meters. Works consist of area measurements like plastering, whitewashing, partitioning of specific thickness are expressed in square meters. Works consist of cubical contents like volume of earthwork, cement, concrete, masonry are expressed in cubic meters. These are all the units involved in it. Next, what are the data required to prepare an estimate? We need three things: drawings, specifications, generally how it's done, detailedly how it's done, general specification and detailed specification rates, and finally the rates of each and everything. Next is the method of estimation. There are two methods of estimation: detailed estimation, abstract estimation. So let us see what is detailed estimate. Detailed estimate describes all the bill of quantities of items, that is the description of each item with respect to its number and the measurements of these items in terms of length, breadth, height or depth will be determined in terms of quantities of how much it is. Next is abstract estimate. Abstract estimate describes the detailed estimate, what are all the items that is calculated with respect to that quantity, the unit price of that quantity and the total amount of that quantity will be calculated in abstract estimate. So abstract estimate will be generally related to mainly the cost estimate of that particular work. How do we take out the quantities? What are the methods used for taking out the quantities? The quantities like earthwork, foundation concrete, brickwork and plinth, and superstructure can be worked out by following two methods: long wall, short wall method, centerline method. What are long wall, short wall method or separate wall method? The walls running in one direction are termed as long walls, and the walls running in transverse direction are termed as short walls. Length of long walls are measured or found out, and those of short walls are in to in. For long walls it is out to out, and for short walls it is in to in. Different quantities are calculated by multiplying the length by the breadth and the height of the wall. So for long wall and short wall method, length is center to center length plus half the breadth of one side plus half the breadth of other side. So that is equal to center to center length plus one breadth. For the short wall, that is the in to in, center to center length minus one breadth. So next is the center line method. In this method, the total length of all the walls, center lines of all the walls, long and short, has to be found out. In this method, the length will remain the same for excavation of foundations, for concrete and foundations, for all wall footings, and for superstructure. This method is quicker but requires special attention and consideration at the junctions, meeting points of partition or cross walls. For rectangular, circular, polygonal, that is hexagonal or octagonal, buildings having no inter or cross walls, this method is quite simple. For buildings having cross or partition walls, for every junction, half the breadth of respective item or footing is to be deducted from the total center length. Thus, in the case of building with one partition of wall or cross wall having two junctions, deduct one breadth of the respective item of work from the total center length. Estimation of structures, estimation of buildings, estimation of concrete roads, estimation of bituminous roads, estimation of septic tank and soak pit, estimation of retaining wall, and estimation of culverts. So all these estimation we will be seeing in the further classes. So let us see a simple example of how to estimate a particular concrete and foundation for a given plan. Estimate in detail the quantities of the following items of work for a given plan and section shown in the figure using centerline method and long wall short wall method. So if you see, there is a section at A and BB. Thickness of the footing and foundation is 30 cm each. So from the diagram, the long wall short wall dimensions are given along with the thickness, and the foundation details are given. So we have to estimate the quantity of concrete and foundation. By centerline method, the total length of the center line is equal to 5.3 plus 5.3 on both sides and plus 4.3 plus 4.3 on both sides, that is equal to 19.2. The width of foundation is 0.9. Therefore, the total quantity of concrete and foundation is 19.2 into 0.9 into 0.3. So this is how we calculate the total quantity of concrete and foundation by centerline method. In case of long wall short wall method, the length of long wall is 5.3 plus 0.9, that is equal to 6.2, and length of short wall is 4.3 minus 0.9, that is equal to 3.4. Therefore, the quality of concrete and foundation is 2 times 6.2 plus 3.4 into 0.9 into 0.3. So this is how we calculate the quantity of concrete and foundation using long wall and short wall method. Hope you have understood the methods of centerline method and long wall short wall method. Thank you all for your attention. Hope we'll be seeing the estimation of all the structures in further classes. If you have any queries, kindly post the questions. Thank you one and all.